Duh. Hello. My comments are showing on my phone.
Yeah, I was going to
Wow.
try to open chat on my phone.
Wow, I can't believe it. I've never been able to do this.
I just muted on my phone or cut the volume all the way down so it doesn't echo, but
Let's see. And then the highlight, I just push it, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Um, Kelly, the advocate, is live, and she's been live for a couple hours now.
Oh yeah, what you talking about, Dorothy?
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, Dorothy, all kinds of stuff. I mean, like, yeah, Dorothy, when I was there. Hi, voices. There's voices. She's here. And I'm real sorry about what happened um to you this morning. I mean, I just think that it was um you wasn't being able to get your point across, and I just didn't really like any of that situation. So
What happened? Dorothy had went off on her?
no, not Dorothy, just some other
Oh,
people, and a
okay.
couple of them. Yeah, it was not good. Hi, Becca. How are you? There's Rody Gal. Hi, Rody Gal. And how do you say that? Shalama? Shalama? Shalama. I guess. Is that how you say it? And there's Genetic Code. She says, in background, mama. Oh, oh no. Genetic Code has a toothache.
Aw.
I'm sorry. Poor thing. That's one thing that I'm glad I don't have to worry about. I mean, after all that mess. Let's see. I know, I'm sorry. And they were I didn't like they were mixing you up for voices behind the wall because you've never had anything to do with any animals. And there's Jane Ivy's addiction. Hello. Welcome everybody. We're just I don't know, we're just gonna hang out. This is my friend Kimberly. And
Hey everybody. Probably don't
you
know
are
me. I'm from a different community. I'm from the truth community, the anti-AD community, really, if you know who Armchair Detective is.
there's
That's mostly
LFT.
where I've always been.
Hey, I'm glad to see you. And there's Violet. This is Kimberly that's on panel with me. I messed around and didn't, smoke a cigarette before I came on. And now I'm like all shaky. There's the
Oh.
scoop with Barb. Hi, Barb. You've been awful quiet. What's been going on? She's been quiet today. She put out one song. Have
I
you heard
haven't
any
been
of her?
on here all day, so this is the first time I've been on here all day.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wish I could say that. I got I got up early this morning. Somebody sent me a message because Voices last night said that Dorothy was taken down for that, and then
Yeah.
somebody sent a message that said um, that she was saying that it was for something else. But
Yeah,
then,
she tried to lie and say she got peen bombed or whatever, but
mhm.
really she was
Hi,
taken down.
Urban.
I guess it was a community guidelines thing.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I just don't understand. Okay, I just cannot fathom why is it that these smaller channels, well, not really smaller, but the ones that aren't spewing hate get all this, um, the strikes and all that, and they get their channels taken. They have to, work to get them back up, and those two just do whatever they want, and
I
nothing ever
know.
happens.
It does seem like the worst of the worst always get to stay up. I don't get it either. It's crazy.
Hi, Tracy. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Mark. There's Mark Klein. And this is Kimberly, and she is from the What is it called? I keep
It's
forgetting.
called
The truth.
just the truth community. It's really just the
The truth.
anti-AD community. Armchair detective, yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of like old. I mean, like old news. You know what I mean? Like he's worn his platform wet out. I remember there's
Just a
Foxy and
scammer.
Foxy. Hi, Foxy. So tonight we're just gonna like chit chat back and forth, talk about some things that y'all want to talk about, not necessarily what we want to talk about, but I want to know y'all's opinion about what's going on. And y'all, I want to know some cases that y'all want me to do or anything that you want me to cover, things you're interested in, so that we can kind of make a schedule up. There's Mel Mel. Hi, Mel Mel. What time is it there? Mel Mel is she's like one of the funniest people I ever met in my life.
Oh yeah, I've watched her before. She is really funny. I like her too.
She was like the first person that I ever talked to on YouTube when I came to YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, she was. And I've always trusted her. I mean, I have a lot of good people that I'm friends with that I can really trust. That Dorothy is the only one that has ever done me wrong, ever, in this community.
Imagine that. Dorothy does everybody wrong.
And I have a lot of friends and I mean acquaintances everywhere, all over the place, and I have never had this done, never. And I've been in, well, our mod chat did get put out one time. Yeah, but that, I mean,
I've never had like a major falling out with anybody on here. Not really, you know. I mean, Dorothy's pretty much the only, which she never really did anything to me. It's just everyone else. I mean, she talked about me, but I don't care what she says about me. It's just when she talks about other people the way she does that I can't stand it.
She got really mad at you.
Oh yeah, I don't care.
For taking up for your friends. I mean, but you were doing the right thing. I mean, you were taking up for your friends.
Yeah,
I mean,
she says I'm obsessed with her, unhinged, all the same things she says about everyone. Whatever.
Right.
Definitely not obsessed with her.
I never had experienced any drama on YouTube before I was introduced to Dorothy. And that's why she caught me off guard, and that's why that I was not prepared for what she was doing behind my back. Was not prepared at all. When I walked away with my mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, everybody was coming to me and telling me, she's doing, you know, getting up there on panels and telling this stuff. And there's people that believed her, but you know what? The good people did not. The community that I followed, none of them believed her. And I kept my same friends. I still have those same people in my life. I am not without any of them. And so she just really didn't affect me. Except
that's
the other
how I am. I've had the same friends on here forever, you know, for years. That's the thing though. Dorothy doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut. Like I don't think she could ever just move on from a friendship and keep her mouth shut. You know, it has to be. She has to drag whoever it is, everything she can about them.
Yes. Hello, it's all good. Thank you. She said that she told everyone to come over and throw pink. And there is Captain Kangaroo. Hi. I'm glad that you're here. See, these are all good people. Every one of them. They are. I mean, like.
No, yeah, I was laughing.
I met you, like, you know, like through one of your videos that you made.
About Dorothy.
Yeah, she's very talented. So I need some lessons. And Tira, is she still in here? I am so sorry for what happened to you last night. That was just horrible. Horrible, horrible. People are just mean. They are so mean. And
what? She called CPS on someone again? Or she called on 3 days ago? Wow.
Dang.
Yeah, Dorothy. Well, first of all, she got mad at AJ because you know how AJ was making that. Well, Krama Vault. She was making those posts that were like showing when people were live, like how many people were in their chat and then how many people are active chatters in there. So she put genetic code on the list. And so she got mad at AJ and about genetic code, both about that, and just went off about it because she wasn't on the list, but she wasn't even live at the time. That's how crazy this girl is.
Well, I don't understand. Okay, I want y'all's opinion. I don't know. I don't understand what people think about a creator getting up there and disrespecting their panel guests by screaming at them and not paying attention to anything in the chat except to make these sarcastic comments. I mean, that hurts me when I hear it, when I'm just being nosy and go over there. But I don't see how those people stand it. There's 411 now. Hi.
Yeah, she could care less. She doesn't look at the chat at all.
No, not at all. And see, I have a problem. I read the chat and interrupt people. I'm always reading the chat. But I don't want to miss anyone. I don't want anybody to think that I left them out. But
right
now he's in here too. He was one of my first ones that I was part of his channel.
No,
he's so wonderful. He has several channels. He's been on here for years and years. And
yeah, I remember him. He's nice. I like him too.
Let's see. I know people probably wish that I would turn off the comments because I could just sit here and just read the comments. And everybody's like, what were you talking about now? That's kind of what, yeah, Tracy. She tried to say her video wasn't taken down for harassment bullying. She said it was nudity. Yeah, she's trying to say that she got peen bombed or something like that.
Yeah, right.
That didn't happen. And I don't understand how they can lie so easy. Get up there and lie. I mean, and you can prove the lie by the next sentence.
Oh yeah, well she contradicts herself. Yeah, exactly, from one sentence to the next. Totally crazy. Wrong. She doesn't care.
And I wanted to go over what they consider a flip-flopper. They have that all wrong. A flip-flopper is not good people that stand for what they believe in and what's right. A flip-flopper is being nice to someone one day and the next day they hate them and then being nice to them again, going back and forth. That's a flip-flopper.
Right.
And they leave their friends in the wind too, because a lot, here lately there's been a couple, of acquaintances that I feel really bad because I don't agree with where they go. And so I kind of feel bad because I don't go back there, but I can't. But anyway, I was going to show you a little bit about what I was going to cover. I'm going to do a series on Stephen Avery and Brandon Dassey. That's Checking Conviction. She's in the chat. That is one of the case that's very close to both of us. We totally believe that they are innocent. And Brandon was only 16, and he was railroaded into prison. He was coerced. He was questioned without a parent there. There's just a lot of bad things. The justice system is so broken, and that's where I got my broken justice name from. Those two people and my son's case. So, and then I'm going to do that one night. I'm going to have a series once a week on that. And then day after tomorrow, I have an interview with a victim of human trafficking.
Oh.
And I met her in person. So, yeah, I met her in person. And it's I didn't realize that in human trafficking, there is like different, I guess, categories. Like you wouldn't believe, like there's the child, and then there's the sex, and then there is the they use their blood for sacrifices, so they keep them
What?
alive. Yeah, they keep them alive. There is the snuff films, and then there is oh god, people that have these fetishes that like to torture people. They will pay a lot of money for like 30 minutes to torture a person.
That's really scary.
Yes, and that's what she was trafficked. What they took her for.
For torture?
Yes, and they lured her from the United States to the UK, and she met somebody and had been talking to him for a long time, and that person said that they loved her and wanted her to move there, and so she did. And she said it wasn't just a few hours, and they were coming in with guns, and then she found out that the girl was one of the ones that was a part of it. And
wow.
You ought to see the scars on her.
It's awful.
It was bad. It was so bad. But by a miracle, she was she got to come home. I mean, usually they just torture them until they're of no use to them, and then they will use them for the snuff films and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, so she met someone online or something and then went to meet him. Is that how that happened?
No, I know her mother.
Okay.
And I knew when she came up missing, but there was really nothing that anybody could do about it because she was in the UK. And we didn't really know if she was missing or if she just was mad at her mom and didn't, want to communicate with her. And then she finally got a message out to her mom. And then you have to go through, there's an organization that is free that tracked the girl down that lured her through Facebook. And that's how they got her. That's how they got her back.
Okay, so she met the girl through Facebook. Like she met the person online. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
She met
crazy people online. We all know that.
Right. Yeah. But it seems like the younger generations, they are being able to reach out to many countries, they have no boundaries. And so they are they don't have I don't know how to put it. They don't really have the guarded sense of something bad's going to happen to them. They're like, she was like, she goes, it's not going to happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I remember being like that too. I mean, you think you're invincible when you're young like that,
Yeah, you do. But I mean, I don't know. It really hit close to home because she brought her over the other day, to see me because she just got home. And I knew that her mother went over there and stuff, but I didn't know exactly what was going on. It happened so fast. And then she come over here and sat down with me and started telling me what was going, what happened. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, it was bad. And they starved her.
So did she escape somehow or they let her go?
No, this organization tracked the girl down, and they tracked this girl through her cell phone after they got the police involved. Mm-hmm. And then the police swatted them, went in on them, and rescued her. But the police had been there before looking for her, and they moved her location. and she was underneath the bed in a cage when the police were there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And they tased her until she could not talk or anything, so that the police, would not hear her. I mean, she said that she was awake a little bit, but she was out of it. She could not talk. She could not move, nothing. And she had open wounds. They had to do this laser surgery to close her wounds up.
That makes me want to cry. That's horrible. I don't understand how people treat other people like that.
I just don't understand what is wrong in their brains that make them have the urges to do things like this. I mean, they're paying $1,000 for 30 minutes. I mean, I don't get that. And little kids, I don't understand how they could
That's disgusting. Yeah, that's
one hair on one child. I just don't understand that. And it's all good. She was covering a case earlier. I don't know if she usually does true crime. I don't think so, but I think this case really touched her heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's parents that kill and hurt their children through abuse and stuff. And
yeah,
she was like, I just cannot, deal with this. I can't talk about this anymore. I got to get off this.
It does. It gets to you, definitely.
But I guess since, I don't know, I was sitting there just thinking, oh, you poor little thing, because I guess I am used to it. I'm like numbed up from it because I've seen so much and covered so many cases.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to do my internship in a mental institution, and where that I had to deal with the kids that were abused so severely by their parents.
Yeah.
And I couldn't handle it. I was going home, couldn't sleep. I was throwing up. So then I went to CPS, and I couldn't do that either.
No, I don't think I could do it.
I mean, they would let the kids that needed to be taken, they would leave them. And the ones that did not need to be taken, they would take those kids. I said, y'all are so mixed up. And they would say, oh, it's more paperwork. So I have never looked at them the same way. That whole system needs to be started over, because I just can't think about that these people are going home at night and laying their heads down on pillows and sleeping. And I bucked up on them, and they told me that I would never work again if I didn't if I didn't go along with the program.
Wow. So, I mean, I hear that they're completely overloaded, like CPS workers, that they just,
Well, they're overloaded, but they wouldn't be if they would take care of the cases as they come in. They don't care. They say they're overloaded, but they don't. The reason they're overloaded is because they don't ever look at the cases. They let them pile up, and then they start looking at them. And it's mainly the emergencies, that are called in the middle of the night, and the ones that have to be dealt with right then and there. That's the ones that they deal with. And then the others pile up, and they just don't care. They go home early. They get, you just wouldn't believe what goes on. You just wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, but I don't know that much about it. That's
and it's the older generation of caseworkers that are training these younger people, and they're training them to not care, to not do their jobs right. And I just never seen anything like it. I really, and it's heartbreaking when they remove a child from a home that they do not need to be removing them.
Yeah, and then they put them somewhere that's worse.
Yes, and the children don't understand. They're crying. I mean, it's just heartbreaking. I just couldn't hardly stand it. And then there's the ones that need to be removed, and the kids are eager to go with you, and they won't take them. That is heartbreaking too. I've had them cling onto my legs and beg to go.
Yeah, I couldn't handle
it. It's not right. I mean, it's just the whole system is messed up. And like I was telling, it's all good. The school systems need to be educated better in, looking at the signs of abuse and things that go on. They do.
Yeah, because the kids are in school a lot, so yeah, it does seem like that would be helpful.
Right, and they can see the red flags.
Yeah.
They can see the red flags. I was going to college and I had 2 jobs. It's no excuse. I'm not putting out an excuse whatsoever. But my son's best friend, I can't talk. Okay, he came up missing, and I had just seen the red flags starting to go up that he was being abused. And he come up missing before we could do anything. And the school did nothing at all. And I called the retired sheriff in my hometown because I know them personally. And I said, "Do you remember Thomas?" He goes, "No, I don't remember." I said, "He come up missing in our town, the only child that's ever come up missing in this little bitty town, and you don't remember him?" I was heartbroken.
Oh.
And
so
go ahead.
He was being abused by a family member or
his stepdad.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I had seen a black eye one day, and I was like, "Thomas, where'd you get that black eye?" And then the first day that I met him, he come to the house. He finally could get out. The kids didn't tell me all this stuff until he was gone. And he could only get out when his mother would pass out drunk and his stepdad was gone. And so he would sneak out then. Well, he had a pellet gun, and he shot my son in the leg with the pellet gun.
Oh, no.
So, of course, I grabbed his ear, and I dragged him down to his house, and I said, "We're talking to your mother right now." I was just that type, I never thought about any family situation, just didn't even, and I was going to school for that. No joke. And he was all nervous and scared. "Please don't." I said, "No, I'm not listening to you. Open the door. We're going in." He opened the door, and I about passed out in the floor. There was beer cans up past my ankles, all in the floor. His mother was in the middle of the floor, passed out, and I could not get her awake. And I just took him back home with me.
Yeah, poor baby.
And he said, "Well, my dad will be home in a little while, and I have to be home." And so I drove him home. He didn't live but a couple blocks, and I drove him home before, his dad would get home. And but then Sean would want to go play with him and his friends, so I just figured that Thomas was with them playing all the time. But he said that he would go every day to see if Thomas could come play, and he was not allowed out. And he missed a lot of school.
He wasn't even allowed to go out and play.
No, and they were 11 too. He was 11 years old. And he was not, he missed a lot of school. Sean said that he would come to school 1 or 2 days a week. Teachers never did even.
No, nothing. That's weird. That didn't raise a red flag.
It had been going on for a long time. And the boys, my boys and their friends come up with this plan that Thomas was going to run away and stay in this cabin in the woods. And they were going to take him food and clothes and everything he needed, because they knew about what was going on and they didn't tell any parents. No. I was the only parent that was picking up on it. And it was 2 days later after they, Sean said it was 2 days after they had come up with that plan. They didn't even follow through with it. He come up missing. And the kids first thought that he ran away. And so we went and looked in every cabin there possibly could have been, everywhere. And that wasn't the situation. And and we went and made the posters to put around me and my kids, and their friends are the only ones that did it. His parents didn't even come out the door to even do nothing at all.
Because they knew where he was, right? Did they find him?
Yeah, but it was terrible. I'm telling the whole story here. I've read the articles on here and everything. His picture is on one of my thumbnails. But he was at my house playing, and it was almost dark. I had dinner ready, and I said, Thomas, I said, you better go home. You've got to get home before it gets dark. And it was just almost dark. And so he took off on his bicycle, and his mother said that when he got home from my house, she sent him to the store after milk. And that was like, he went home like a little bit before 8, and 9:30, she sent him to the store for milk.
Mm-hmm.
And he never came home, was her story.
Okay.
And I don't know. It was just weird because 9:30 to go get milk the grocery store closed the grocery store was a block away from their house. And he could, walk down just a trail to get there. You could see the grocery store front doors from his house. But instead she waits till that store is closed so that he has to go all the way across the parking lot and across the street to Love's to get milk and pay more.
Well, why wouldn't she go get it? I don't know. I mean, he just being a young kid, I would think she would have went and got it herself anyway.
It was a little bitty town. It was a little bitty town, a little bitty town. And I would let my kids play outside, after dark and walk all over the place, but not after it got dark. Right. They had to come home. And I guess they just had I don't know. She was a drunk. I mean, that's all it was. I just don't.
But she was lying anyway. That's not what really happened, right?
She was lying. I know she was. Well, we don't have the facts. He has never got justice. The one that did it has never been brought to justice, and nothing's ever been done. I talk to the investigator every 3 months, and there's nothing at all.
But they found him.
They found his skull. 16 years later, in the next little bitty town over, they found a skull that had been drug up in someone's yard in the country. Mm. And it took them 16 years to identify him. And we had already moved here where we are, the city. It's like 3 hours away from our hometown. And my son was, gosh, let me see. I guess he was 18, 19. Well, he's probably 20, 21. And we walked in a convenience store. And there's Thomas's picture on the front of the stand, where they had some pictures, a really big poster. And he just teared up and he goes, Mama, he goes, do you think they'll ever find Thomas? And they found him a week later.
Oh, wow.
But it took 16 years.
So they probably didn't have any DNA evidence or anything. I mean, after that long, they didn't have, so that's probably why they never.
Well, the police officer, this is really bizarre. The police officer, the cold case detective, he went to a seminar somewhere way off, and there was a forensic girl there that did molds, casts of faces and stuff, and she made a cast. He asked her would she do it for him, and so she took the skull and she made a cast. And that's how he was identified. The guy looked up all the missing cases that was around the area, and he come across Thomas's. And sure enough, it was Thomas. but they never found anything else. Right, nothing else. They didn't find his bicycle, his clothing, nothing. Just
wow.
all. And I guess let's see. I guess my son was 27 when they found Thomas. He was 27.
Oh, and, yeah, because he was 11 when he went missing, right? So.
Yeah. And my son is 39 now. So, and there's not a day that goes by I don't think about Thomas. I used to couldn't even talk about him without crying, but I did it this time. I made it through. Aren't you proud of me, Alex? Alex Erickson's here. Alex, this is Kimberly. That is, that's my husband. Where are you going? This is Kimberly, and she is from the Truth community, right?
Right. Hey, everybody, I'm not looking at chat right now.
Yeah, we just kind of started talking about Thomas, but everybody was doing like, it's all good. I went over there listening to her while I was getting ready, and I was like, she was talking about that little girl, so it reminded me of Thomas. So, in it, I wanted to cover Thomas anyway because of, oh, I can't think of her name. She wanted us to cover some missing kids and this is the end of the month, isn't it? So.
Yep.
Or the 1st. Today's the 1st.
It's the 30th.
Oh, okay, good. I'm usually late for everything. You see, chat?
So did they even have suspects in his case? Like, did they
no,
name?
Not, I mean,
no.
No. He had no information whatsoever until I called him. I tracked the cold case detective down, and I wanted to know what they were doing about the case, and they weren't doing anything. And he said that he couldn't even get the files from my hometown. So, I called. My cousin used to be the sheriff there after this happened. I mean, like after the other guy retired and all that. And I called him. I said, you need to get this case. I want this file. I said, I need to take it to the cold case detective because you guys refused to even give it to him. He goes, well, there really isn't much of one. That's what he said. And so the information that I gave him was more than anything that he had. The apartment they lived in 2 weeks after he came up missing burned to the ground. Okay, that's suspicious right there. And then, and his stepdad, he was, missing school, the black eyes.
Yeah.
And he told the kids it was the stepdad. And then they took off to California.
Really?
Right after the apartment burned down, they took off to California. And that was it.
That's unreal. So they got away with it.
They've done nothing else. And I'm like, and he did tell me that he thought that the mother and the stepdad were divorced now. So if we could maybe get her to turn. Well,
yeah.
So my son and his wife, they are trying to locate what her name is now and see if we can't talk to her. Because, they didn't even want to spend the money to have his skull brought back to them to be properly buried. They didn't care.
So it was the stepdad and then his biological mom?
Yeah. That is my opinion. He hasn't been convicted or anything, but that is my opinion.
Yeah, but that's where they went missing from. That's where he went missing from. Right. So you would think, I just don't see how his mom could let that happen and not,
because she was a drunk. She wasn't paying attention. She was a really bad alcoholic. Bad. And it was all behind, closed doors. And he had behavior problems is what the first red flag was, that stuck up to me. That was the first time I'd ever saw the kid, but he hadn't been there very long. My son was and his friends were the only friends this kid had. and he hadn't been there long. Sean said that he had only been there like 2 or 3 months. They moved around a lot.
Okay, so he hadn't been in that school district that long.
Right, right. And I promised him, I promised him that I would never forget him, and I would make sure that nobody else did too.
Yeah.
Even if they don't bring him to justice, I am going to get a hold of that mom one of these days. I am.
Well,
And
normally you would think she has talked to. There's at least got to be one person that she's talked to and told the truth. You would think, if she does know something.
Yeah, you would think, but it seems like that if she would, I don't know, it's her son. It seems like that she would call if they are divorced and she's not going back to him, unless she still has an addiction problem.
I mean, she could be afraid of him, her ex, but there's just no way in hell, that I could just keep my mouth shut about something like that.
They would have to bury me. And to keep me from searching for my child, she didn't even bother. I went to the door, banging on the door. Are you going to come help us? I was really
so sad.
rude.
I don't understand why people like that have children.
I was a real hothead. I mean, I was really bad. And I was like, I threatened her. I was like, I'm going to pull you out of that house. What I'm going to do. But yeah, I mean, it really angered a lot of people. And the police didn't even do any kind of investigation. Nothing. And
yeah, I don't understand that either.
And these two towns are like 12 miles apart. And the cold case detective can't make those people give him that file. I don't get it.
So where he was found was 12 miles away?
Yes. And it's like we live in a rural area, and it's by Lake Texoma, and it's woods and everything's out in the country. And my husband had the lake right in his back door. He was really lucky. But it was like this deserted place. I think that they just took him out there and threw him in a ditch, I think. And nobody even bothered, they didn't do a good enough search. They didn't. I think that they thought he was a runaway and they just didn't bother. That's what I think.
Wow.
And the cops didn't know the parents. They didn't know anything about the kid, and they didn't care nothing about him.
Well, probably if they had been abusing him, and that might be how they got away with it. As far as the schools, if they're moving in and out of different school districts all the time, that's
and the teachers really didn't know him well enough, I guess.
Yep.
And back then, see, our kids didn't get in trouble for truancy. If a parent said that they're sick today, that was fine. So,
oh, really? So it didn't cause problems if kids were out of school a lot back then?
Huh. But they should have seen the black eyes, and they should have seen that because I saw the black eye.
Yeah.
That was the second red flag, is a black eye, a big black eye.
Even if someone questioned him, I don't know how often he had injuries like that, but I'm sure he just made up a lie.
Well, he was telling the kids. He was confiding in Sean and the boys, but they were keeping it a secret for him because he was scared, and they were going to try to get him out of it. They were 11. They thought they had this big plan. They really did believe that they could do something, and they didn't need to tell any parents.
If only he would have told an adult.
I know. And if I could have caught it, I don't know, 1 week before, if they had came to me, I mean, I don't know. We were driving around in the car, and I had all the boys in the car after he came up missing, and I was just lit up because I was so mad. Nobody was trying to help us. And then they tell me about their plan and everything, and where I needed to go to look for him to make sure that he didn't run away. And I couldn't even get any help. We had to do it by ourselves. His mother didn't put out not one, nothing.
I don't understand why. I mean, because a kid that young, it's not like he's a teenager that had friends with cars. He was too young to have anywhere to go.
He was 11. I mean, my kid, there's no way. I had nightmares after this. I bought my son, he wanted these pair of Nike shoes, and they were really expensive. And so I finally broke down, and I said, you better take care of them, And so I went and bought these shoes, and I had a nightmare about him coming up missing, and all I found was one of those shoes. I marched in his room, grabbed those shoes, and threw them in the trash. And he goes, "Those are my shoes." I said, "Not anymore." I said, "I'll get you a new pair."
Yeah,
I said, "You are not wearing these shoes."
Yeah, but, no, that's not a dream you want to have.
I mean, I did. I was scared to death, and I was so overprotective of them. And I would make them come up to my work. They would walk from school to my job, and I would make them sit there until I was finished. I was like, "No, y'all's playing days are over." But the first thing that cold case detective asked me, he goes, "Did you ever hear about a serial killer coming through Medill?" And I'm like, "No." You know, like, because I'm just real. When I'm mad about something, I'm just really a hothead. But I said, he goes, I said, "Do you know of a serial killer that comes through Medill? Because if you do, and you didn't inform me and other parents, you have a whole different problem on your hand here."
Yeah, right.
I was fixing to come lit up. I mean, and he goes, "No, I didn't hear. I was just wondering if you heard." And I was like, that's just totally ridiculous. But I told him everything that I knew, and he said this puts things more in perspective, because the only thing that he could figure, if somebody had abducted him. And he did talk to the mom and interview the mom and stuff, but she wasn't really, she just taught like she didn't really care. And so.
That's unbelievable.
And I don't know if she had other kids or not. I mean, we just don't know that much about him. But we know that was his stepdad, and but we are looking for his real dad and his real grandma and his mother.
Yeah. So his real dad wasn't in his life then.
Well, we thought he was, like before this guy come along. We think that he did have a relationship with his real dad, and then this guy come along and cut him off from.
Well, maybe they moved away from the real dad.
Yeah. I think. Well, I think the real dad is in California. I think they were from California.
Okay.
And I did get her like a couple of her last names so that we could try to track it that way. And he's like, "I could use all the help that I can get." And he goes, "If you find him or if you get her to talk, just call me." I'm like, okay. I think the way that I'm sorry, I respect police officers, but the way that these detectives work, they sit in that office and they wait for somebody to bring them the evidence. They wait for citizens to solve the cases because they care about the people that got killed. And I do believe it. I mean, that's why that there's cases that go unsolved and there's cases that are solved. And it's because those people came in, and it's the tips that they didn't do any investigating, like drop it in your lap kind of thing. And that's what I gathered from Thomas, being missing. Talking to those police officers, I'm so mad at them. When I go down there,
such a small town. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
3,000 people. Well, now 3,000 people. It was probably 1,500 people at the time. No. And for them not to even remember him, the only missing child case that we had ever, that doesn't make sense either.
That's hard to believe, really.
And the apartment burning down, that should be an red flag, but and I where I work, those cops come in every day. I knew every one of them personally, and they said, "You've done everything that you know to do. You and the kids just need to stop now." So,
well,
I'll go down there and get arrested probably. My husband will be bailing me out of jail. It's gonna be awesome. Oh Lord. Well, it won't be the first time, so But Yeah. And so that's my case, my child case, that it's all good. I'm glad she's here. I just wanted her to hear that. So, uh, difference is then they didn't kill child like now. It was beating, spanking too much. Yeah, when they beat them. Yeah, littler kid. You're talking about littler kids? Yeah, I mean little bitty kids. Yeah, and grandmothers and uncles and aunts are joining in and doing this stuff too. There's some sick individuals out there. I don't get it.
There really is. Anybody that can harm a child.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I just don't. Like Summer Wells' case. Um, if I was Candace, I would be already dead because I would have searched until I dropped dead. I mean, they would have to force feed me because if my child isn't eating, I wouldn't want to eat. If they're cold or
Yep.
I don't know if I could go on. I just don't know. It being this amount of time in between, I don't know if I could go on because, I mean, I would be exhausted from searching. There's no way.
How could you think about anything else?
Mm-hmm. Right. I would turn over every rock on that land over and over and over. But my opinion on that is, she knows where she's at. So I know it's the parents. I mean, I don't understand how they can give birth to these kids and hurt them.
I don't understand it either. There's so many people that want kids that can't have kids. I just don't understand why people like that have children. I just don't.
Mm-hmm. My mother used to tell me, because I was adopted and she couldn't have kids. And she would take in any little old stray there was that needed her. She was just a wonderful woman. She had so many kids that she took care of, but and she adopted my two sisters too, but they were already grown and married when they adopted me. And my dad was a preacher and I was a twin, and a stranger had me at a church, and he goes, "Oh, I wished I had her. She's such a big doll." And that woman goes, "Well, her mother probably give her to you. She don't want her." And he took me home that night.
You said you're a twin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm so little.
Are you in touch with your twin?
Yeah. They came to the town when that little town that I'm from when I was 5 and tried to get me back, and they lost. And that he started kindergarten, and he was in my kindergarten class because I still had their. Come to find out, my parents found out just a few months before. They set me down and told me. My real dad and my stepdad were related, and we didn't know it. He was my uncle. My stepdad was my uncle. Yeah. And we didn't know it. And my grandma was my aunt and my grandma.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that bizarre? And but it was really, I don't know, it was a really bad situation. But my twin brother died gosh, it's been about 10 years now. 10 years ago.
Oh.
From a drug overdose. So.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
It caused him to have a heart attack, and I felt the heart attack. First connection I've ever felt with him is I thought I was having a heart attack because I had already had a couple, and I was putting on my jacket to go to the hospital, and they called me, and it was him dying. But I felt those drugs go up his arm and hit his heart and stopped his heart instantly. And It was really bad. Um, but we have a rare disease, and he wouldn't go see a doctor. He wouldn't take medicine, and he was doing drugs. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a bad deal. Yeah, I have 9 brothers and sisters, so
Oh,
a lot.
wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't have anything to do with them anymore.
No.
Um, I mean, my kids will go and see them and stuff, and I do have like I share ownership of my parents. My real parents are dead now, and I share ownership with the house that they left
Mm-hmm.
because I was adopted illegally. So, yeah, my mama bought me. So, yeah, so that that gave me the same rights as they had to everything that my
Yeah, that's good.
inheritance, I guess. Well, there wasn't much, but and like I had an older sister that died from the same disease that I have, and she didn't have any kids, and I got part of her money too. Yeah, it was a bad deal, but I mean I grew up happy.
Yeah,
I
you
was
had a
happy.
good life,
Yeah,
right, with your
I had a
adopted.
good and my step family are still my family, and they're still there for me. And my granny, she was really my aunt. My mama raised her since she was 5, and she was 89. No, she was 92, and she passed away a couple of months ago.
No.
And yeah, she was the only one left. So, but she made it a good long while to see all of our kids and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were happy about that. But I have a great big family,
Good.
and I was raised. Their personalities are so totally different than mine.
Oh, yeah,
Their
you were telling
education,
me about that.
their education, is so different. My real family, I mean, you can tell I was raised in a different environment,
Mm-hmm.
and but I still have those genes. My real mother was real abrasive. I'll put it that way, real abrasive, and I carry those genes. I really do. I really, I mean, just
I can't tell. You're always sweet.
well, Alex Erickson. I well, I don't know. I mean, I guess getting older, getting to know who I am, you change and you start loving yourself when you start, and taking better care of yourself, and you see things. You get wisdom,
Yeah.
you wise up,
Definitely.
and these people that, oh my god, that are pulling this stuff and hurting other people. Uh, I don't know what happened, but it did. That did not. Um, that's not happening to them. They are
Well,
not.
the way some people act on YouTube, I mean, it's hard to believe we're all adults sometimes, right? Really
Hmm.
is.
It's like, well, and I think that the situation is like with one of the creators. That's no longer supposed to be on YouTube. Well, she was raised spoiled, and she got by with everything because of who her dad was and stuff. She got away with being a horrible person, and she started learning how to con people, and she got by with it
Mm-hmm.
because um her family status, and her family got her out of things, I think. And I think she was a bully in high school, my opinion.
Yeah,
I
some
mean,
people, yeah, they get worse and worse because of that.
mhm.
They've gotten away with stuff for so long.
I know a girl that acts just like her, and she's been a bully since we were 3. And she got worse. She grew into it and learned, new skills. And she's gonna hate forever. She's so ate up with hate, um, that, and I don't know. Eventually, everybody's gonna leave her. Everybody,
Yeah.
or something bad is gonna happen because of her action. And the other one's just flat out dangerous. I mean, she's got a screw loose. She needs real help. She needs to be, put somewhere and medicated, really. And I mean, I'm not saying that to be, bashing her or anything, but, I'm really concerned about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm concerned about what's going to happen to somebody. And I think that something needs to be done before. I just don't see how people can stand up there and spew that much hate. And people sit there and listen to it. Those people that sit there and listen to that in her chat has got to be just as bad as she is.
Well, my thing is, if you're going to sit there and then, people that become friends with these people, how do you not think they're going to do the same thing to you eventually?
Mm-hmm. You don't see that. I think they're so desperate for friendship. They'll take anything. I mean, I do. But she puts on, I tell you, she puts on this front, this act, and but she can't keep it up. And when you start seeing through her, that's when she turns ugly, real ugly. But yeah, she liked everything that I liked. We had everything in common, Are
you talking about the crazy one right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I thought so.
She put on her front, but I mean, it was a very short period of time until I, started seeing through it. My husband saw through it right off the bat. He goes, Cheryl, she is the only one that has ever fooled you, ever. He said, you always see people for who they are right up front. Yeah. And I said, he goes, what was different? I said, I don't know. And I don't. She's a good actress. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Well, she does the whole love bomb thing. Like she, The
respect thing. I'm real big on the respect thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was her, my integrity, the respect, the cases that I wanted to cover. When she said that a victim didn't matter, they weren't important enough, that's when I was like, oh, this ain't gonna work. Yeah. I had an interview with a victim's mom, and she was it was DV, I guess we're not supposed to say it, but she said she was not important and nobody's going to care about her.
Oh,
she was stabbed 69 times. And when she said that, and she said she wasn't going to waste her time on it. When I told her about the case, and I was really excited about it. And I went, okay, there's a problem here. And then I could not cover the case because I did not want her hurting the family any worse than what they were already hurting.
Yeah, right. Who the hell says something like that?
I know. She left.
She doesn't care about anything. I mean, it's obvious from the way she acts,
She left 3 little kids behind, and her mother was raising them. And her mother was just a basket case. I mean, it was horrible. The poor mother was just devastated. And the length of time that they wanted to give him was nothing. And that little town, it was a little bitty town. It was the first murder in like 28 years, or the first murder ever, or something. I mean, it was like really a big deal. And I really still feel bad about that. But Leave It to Beaver is going to cover it for me.
Oh, that's good.
I cannot. I just cannot interview the mom or anything, knowing that I just can't. I feel so bad because I should have just went forward with it and dropped, but it was the next week that she pulled off her crap that she did. So, but good. You know what? I wear the badge of honor with pride that she hates me worse than anybody. I'm glad.
You were the first.
I hope she continues to hate me forever because she will never forget me. Not ever.
It's not a bad thing. I'd be worried if she liked me personally.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, I wouldn't even, but I tried to, confront her and stuff, and she wouldn't even let me get near her. And she'll always remember my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, her my birthday is the same day as um somebody in her house.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So,
I never did one thing to the girl. I left her channel just like, she had made me a mod. She made me a mod without even asking me. I wasn't even there at the time, but she did eventually ask. Uh-oh, I think you just got kicked out. Anyway, she did eventually ask me if I wanted to be a mod after the fact. And I said, okay. I had known her. I didn't know her well, but I knew her from the previous community. And
okay, I'm back.
okay. And anyway,
Push on
me and another
the
friend of mine, we had just left her channel quietly because we didn't agree with the way she was acting. This was back in, I'd say, like November of last year, maybe the end of November. And anyway, she just zoned in on, my friend had left a comment on a channel somewhere, and it was a comment about her, but it wasn't that bad. It was like, it was saying she was disgusting or something like that. And anyway, after that, she just would not stop. Like, she just kept attacking two of my friends because another friend had gone in to defend her, the same as me, and then that's just how the whole thing escalated from there. And then she just, which, like I said, I don't care what she says or thinks about me, but basically all I did was defend my friend. That was it.
And she will lose it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mark, is that Mark that's asking who's on panel? This is Kimberly, and she's from the truth community. Mark is my mod. He was like, I think he was my second mod. Cement Shoes is not here. I don't know where he is. But yeah, Mark was my very second mod. I did meet in Zab Girls. Me and him almost got kicked out of there, joking around. Because we they were talking about ghosts, and me and Mark's like the only one, and there was a whole lot of people in there. And we don't believe in ghosts. So we started joking back and forth, making fun. Yeah, we kind of got in trouble.
Zab
but
Girl.
we're always, yeah, she's really sweet. But Dorothy, I will say, she said that we met it in Zab Girl. Well, that's just the third story that she's told. We never met in Zab Girl. That was part of my community. I mean, the ones that I went to. Dorothy went in there, and Zab lets people go up on panel, and she went up on panel and started spewing the lies about me. She went around to everyone that I was involved with and spewed this lie.
What?
And
really?
Yeah,
she did that in Zab Girls too.
Yeah, and but they didn't believe her. I mean, there was ones that wouldn't even let her up on panel. It's like, no, we know Cheryl. We know this is not like this
McQueen.
Nothing like her. We know who she is. The Chatterbox is my name. I come up with that name all on my own.
That's why I think it's funny that she says you stole her identity. It was your name to begin with.
I mean, who in God's name in the right mind would want her identity?
Yeah, right. Not me.
And when she read those texts, she was putting it into the, the way that she wanted to arrange them. She didn't even show hers, what she said. And I was like, and I did ask her, I said, I told her to wait until I wasn't going back there because I was sick. I had to go to the hospital because of my heart. And then Unjustified was dealing with some strikes. Her channel was fixing to get taken. And she was under a lot of stress, so she wasn't going to go live. So there wasn't no reason for me, I told her, I said, I'm going to wait a week till I feel better, and she's got this under control a little bit. And then I'm going to go and tell her. As soon as it happened in the chat, I told her, I need to talk to you in private, because I didn't know what Dorothy had told anybody. And I didn't want, it was my friend. I didn't want to tell Dorothy's private, because she said she was taking a break, but she wasn't. She was going around and talking about me is what she was doing. That's exactly what she was doing. She wasn't taking no break because of her kid.
Being sneaky.
Yeah. And
underhanded.
So I went immediately that night, within minutes, went over there and I said, is it okay? I said, I'm going to wait for a week, let it die down. I said, is that okay? And so it was fine. And then she gave it like 4 days and then went over there and just started spouting a bunch of stuff and said that and then started this lie. that I had a wrench in all of these channels under her name. I did not. It was the one, it was a misunderstanding, and that was it. And,
Please.
and I was in there before she ever dreamed about me. And she says that was her friends. Cher was her friend.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only one. Cher dropped by when that happened that night.
Really? Her and Cher were friends? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. And did you see what she said about her?
Oh, yeah.
And and Dave and her dropped by to say hi to Unjustified right before she went out when that happened. So she said that I was, they knew it. I was in their chat, but that's not the way it happened at all. It happened right within split seconds. She ended the live. It was so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you would have no reason to try to pretend to be Dorothy. That's so
and
stupid.
And everybody knew me as my name, and I went in under my real name at first. And then when I changed it to the Chatterbox, when I made my channel, I went into every one community that I was a part of and told them this is Chatterbox, told them my name, and they knew right off the bat who I was. And when I changed my name to Broken Justice, they knew, and they knew why I did. I've always told the truth. I've never changed. You can go back to any of my videos. I'm the same person as I've always been. I was a little bit more hot-headed, and I'm sorry, chicken conviction. Cher, she has Voices Behind the Wall. She has a pretty good. She's doing the Summer Wells case. That's one that she really loves. And there's a missing girl. She come up missing when she was 14. She's covering that case, and I've been listening to her on that. I mean, it's really interesting because the way she she goes and does the interviews face to face, and she has a technique that's a little different than everybody else. Oh, no for me. No for me.
Yeah,
Checking Convictions. Oh, do you know her? But I mean,
yeah, Cher's a no-go for me.
Yeah,
too,
I only watched that one case. It's because I think it's a two-parter. She did an interview, and then I'm waiting on the rest of it. And then CDT, I'm a mod for her. And then I go and see oh God, I know her as Amanda, but Truth Teller. It's not TT either. It's crap. I can't even think of what she goes by because I only know her real name. But anyway, it's the new something. The new ATS is what it's ATS.
Oh, okay. It's a true crime channel.
Yeah, it's a true crime channel. I'm 411 now. He was in here. I go there. He's got pretty big channels. I think he's got the biggest channel that I go to. So, and he's got like 4 channels. Yeah, he's got like 4 channels. I really like him. He's a wonderful person.
Yeah, he's a nice person.
He'll help anybody do anything. I mean, he's honest and like I said, I don't like when I introduce people to someone, when I say come over to this channel, I don't do that unless that I know for a fact that they are honest and good people. I will not bring people into something that I know. I'm not looking for just to flood, my channel with subs and all that. I don't want that. I want good people. And I'm not going to introduce my friends to anybody at psychos. It's going to hurt them either.
I was reading what Hannah Charles was saying in chat. Look, she says Dorothy has said she needs a job. She cannot go back to transcribing at all this after Kelly's live tonight. Uh-oh, what happened on Kelly's live?
She can't go back to transcribing. Why?
Not that I believe she ever was.
She punches with one finger. She doesn't know any medical terms. Have you heard her read? I mean, get real. I'm sorry, guys.
And another thing, Dorothy can't tell the truth about anything, but I heard, I haven't listened to her in weeks, but I did catch like a brief part where she was talking about Kelly a couple of nights ago. And she said that she never laughed at Kelly about her domestic violence, That is a damn lie. She did. She laughed about it several times. And that's not only that, she laughed at that's not the first time. She's laughed at several different women about their domestic violence incidents. So yeah, Dorothy.
And with Kelly, I mean, look at, she made a channel to hurt Kelly, and she ran Kelly off of YouTube. And for Kelly to go back to that, you know, she can stay right there where she's at. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't.
You know, I tried to support her when, you know, she came back to show her that she had some support. But when she made up with Dorothy, I was done. You just don't go back. Yeah, that would be like me going back. I mean, you just don't. There's a difference between right and wrong. She's still doing wrong. And you just don't do that. You know you're going to get hurt again. And why get up there and cry about it?
Exactly. I don't get that. Like, once you see what somebody is, you know.
Why get up there and cry about it after you know you keep going back for more? Y'all, they can have it. I'm not going to do that. I'd rather have 4 people in here. Hi, Punksy. I didn't even see you. I'm sorry. I hadn't said hello to anybody. And I was trying to concentrate so I wouldn't start crying with Thomas. But, but anyway, and to catch a killer, I'm going to do it, I don't know, on Saturday night. I have been watching. Look at my hair. My hair's all wet. My hair, it takes a long time to dry, and it's still wet.
Yeah, but, mine's the same way.
We're going to do To Catch a Killer on Saturdays, and that's really going to be fun. I think that's really going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of people, they want to do it. I mean, they're like, but
yeah, it sounds like fun.
People are like, they're kind of scared of it too because they don't know how, you know, it works. But we're just all going to have to learn together because, and we'll have the evidence. We'll get an evidence box, I think, once a month that has real, like, you know, props in it, but it looks like real evidence that we go through. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, I think that you can solve it. I mean, I don't know if it just leaves you hanging. I've got to find out about that.
I bet I'm going to solve it. I'm just guessing. I don't know anything about it, but.
And it has to go on from month to month, so there has to be different cases too.
Yeah.
I read a little bit about it, but excuse me.
How would she even have time to keep a job? She's live like 15 hours a day. If it's not,
she never had a job.
It's on somebody else's channel.
She's never had a job. I mean, the amount of time that she worked was like, 2 or 3 months at a restaurant once. Yeah. She, on 2 scooters, she tells a whole different story about what she's doing. Okay. And what does that say? Making a serial killer? What is that? Is that something different? Checking convictions to making a serial killer.
Yeah,
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to get to distract ourselves away from some of the drama and all the stress that it brings. And if we don't, we got to start somewhere. We just cannot. We just can't just keep going like this. Because I get so stressed out. I go, you know, I have a headache at night when I listen to it, and it's not fun. We don't laugh. We don't do anything.
Yeah, and that's why I stopped listening to Dorothy for the most part, because it's too much. She just doesn't stop, you know? She's constantly dragging somebody.
And you don't follow, you know, all the drama, and you do your little videos here and there, and you mod for, gosh. See, my short-term memory is totally gone. But you mod for a couple people, right?
Yeah, I do.
And that's the only places that you go. So I mean,
yeah, I've pretty much always stuck to our little truth community. So I don't know too much about the drama community. I've never been involved in that, you know.
Right. Y'all all stuck together, though. You know, that's the way I was.
Even though people say that's, you know, that the community imploded or whatever they like to say, that's not the truth. It's still there. It's just
it is. Yeah, it is. And like, I didn't want to be a part. I was just true crime, and I got yanked by the hair into it. I had no choice but to stand up for myself. And God, I feel so bad. I feel even bad for saying this, but I'm the one that brought her to our true crime community. Oh, I did. And I feel awful about it. I do. I feel so bad about it. But she's the one that's done this,
You didn't know. Exactly. You're just a nice person. I mean, you had no idea she was going to be what she is. Who would ever think?
And before that, I mean, she did that to the community when she was leaving when I met her. They said that she did it to another community before that. So it goes way back. But nobody wants to talk about it. They don't. This one girl is stuck on it. She don't want to shut up, and nobody knows who she's talking about. But they just keep on wanting to be.
Somebody in the drama.
Yeah, she's from Australia. Oh, she's one of the ones who used to be friends with Dorothy. But yeah, they hurt her really bad, I guess. But they don't get it if they just keep on talking about it. Keep on talking about her. I mean, like, keep going back at her and keep going, rehashing the pain that she put them through. That they're reliving it. They just keep reliving it. And they can't keep doing that. I did it on the other channel that I had, a little short, version, and then I did it on my channel, got my truth out, and I'm not going back to that. I'm not going to re-victimize myself, because that's what they're doing, is they're wallowing around in the pain of it.
Yeah. And Dorothy, I mean, she's not interesting to talk about. She's nothing but a boring, hateful, I don't even know. But, I mean, I understand people want to put out the truth about their situation. And
I like talking about it sometimes, I like laughing about it, the stupid crap that she pulls. I mean, it's so laughable.
She's ridiculous. Yeah, she's totally ridiculous.
And the lying. I mean, I've never seen, one other person, an habitual liar that bad in all of my days of living. And I'm older than all of you. And so, and I just don't get it.
Me either. I mean, in my real life, I've never met anybody even close to that. Thank God.
They're dangerous. Can you imagine? But see, I know other things about her. I know I know the things she's done, and she ain't no different than Natasha, about her family and all that.
I'm not surprised.
Her they don't want nothing to do with her. And
I mean, a good person doesn't treat people the way she has, so.
No. And I didn't mind if she got up there and told the truth about me, because she knew some things about me that, would not look good. But she didn't. She got up there and told lies, and they were unbelievable. I mean, you can't
just like she doesn't have proof of anything ever. It's just,
well, I mean, you can't be in prison when your kids are growing up for killing your granddaughter. You can't. No. And then, what was it? Okay, I didn't raise my kids, that I was in prison their whole life. Okay, who raised them?
She doesn't care. She just wanted to make you look as bad as she could.
And just, I don't know, things she said was just ridiculous. Every bit of it was a lie. I could not even listen to it all the way through, because it was so horrific. Yeah. And Alex Erickson, she went and listened to it. She goes, "You don't need to hear it," And it was bad. I mean, I just cried and cried and cried and cried, because I thought everybody would believe her, and there was a lot of people that did. A lot of people believed her.
Well, like I said, I heard it at the time, but I didn't even know who you were. But I still, it sounded very far-fetched to me.
I mean, it was like a fairy. I mean, the things that she said, and I was here. She said, "Oh yeah," she said, "I was fixing to go back to prison, and that I was a crackhead and a lunatic."
Yeah.
And I just went on and on and on. And I needed to be on some kind of medication. And I'm like, I stay the same. I'm calm. I not out here doing, 16-hour lives and acting like a fool.
Exactly.
I show my face. Everybody sees me. And I am never mean to anybody.
I don't see
I
you
haven't
acting like
even
a
been mean
crazy
to
person
her.
on here 15 hours a day.
I had never been mean to anybody. I mean, never. Unless I'm talking, standing up for something that I'm like now. Well, okay. I used to go in Natasha's chat and pick a fight with her, but I'd get blocked and then unblocked because of Alex. And I'd go back over there and go into the mod chat and they're like, where have you been? And I'm like, oh, over there picking on Natasha. She got mad and started cussing me. I said, did anybody hear it? And they go, why do you keep going over there by yourself?
Yeah,
I said, what are they going to do? I mean, pull me apart? They can't tell. I mean, it's on a computer. Come on. People need to stand up for themselves more and speak out. They're scared to believe in anything. I mean, if I was like that, oh Lord, I'd just get off YouTube. They don't even. I mean, and and I don't agree with it. Like this morning, I didn't agree with what they did, to voices and stuff. But there's a girl up there that I love dearly, and I didn't stay there. I took up for her and let her say her piece, and then she was over there cooking. She went and started cooking. Last night she was doing crafts, and they were harassing her while she was trying to do crafts. And Dorothy was streaming her, making fun. And
of course she was.
And I was like, this is not right. We are trying to move on. And they just won't stop.
That's the only content Dorothy has. Think about it. It's dragging people. I mean, it's just constant. So she has to have that.
I got sick to my stomach yesterday listening to all that stuff they were saying about her faking crying and her saying she was going to be the victim. And that's who she is. I know who she is. I see the real Dorothy. I've seen that side. And these people are saying, oh, she's changed. No, she hasn't changed. She was faking who she was. And
well, exactly. I was going to say that, she's really been dragging from day one. She was dragging Kelly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she made that channel to hurt her.
Yep.
And I mean, in the situation there, they blew that up out of, the water. I mean, I understand Kelly got upset about something that she shouldn't have got upset about. She shouldn't have done what she did. I mean, she shouldn't have gave her money.
Well, that's the thing. But, I mean, I don't agree. I disagree with Kelly on a lot of different things. That doesn't mean I'm going to go and start bashing her tomorrow and, laughing about her domestic violence and everything else. That's just not something you do.
No, see, I don't even know anything about that. But I tried to support her. And, she wanted content. And I told them, you can ask Country Joe or any of them. I told they wanted me to get up on panel and tell my story. I said, I am not for sale. And if I want to tell my story, I have a channel to do that with.
Right.
And there was no need of me going all over and doing the same thing as what everybody was doing. And they try to talk you into it.
No.
And I was really proud that I was just like, I am not for sale. And because they do it for money and content and views.
That's exactly right.
I hardly have anything. Look how long it's taken me to get 500. But I grew like really fast overnight. But the people that came in that night to support me were all good people. These people that's been in here tonight, it's the same people. I didn't get not one negative comment. Can you believe that?
I know, that's good.
I was so proud. I still am proud of that. I really am. And checking convictions, she made, that video I sent you about the new channels coming up. She's the one that made that. And
that was good.
I'm so proud of it. I'm like, because I can't do anything like intros or anything, colors, in my background. I can't do anything. And
you can do it. You can learn to do it.
To see my channel, like flat, up there, and it was just really cool. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah, that was nice of her to do that.
Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn thumbnails. I'm trying to learn it, but I just can't. It's just not working out very good. I'll get my intro made all the way, and then it'll have a spot that I'll think that it'll say text or something, and I'll put a text there, and it will overlay it on top of, and I'm like, and then I can't get it off. And I'm like,
oh, to practice a little, and you'll get it figured out. It just takes a little practice.
And these people, and then like, they were telling me like they spend hours, editing and doing all that, those videos.
Yeah, it does take a long time.
Oh hell no! I will say that, and it will go through just like it is. Ain't no way. It get on my nerves. I do throw things when things get on my nerves.
Yeah, I guess you have to have patience, and you got to kind of be in the mood to do it. You know, it does take.
See, I have zero patience, zero, and I have never had any patience. And
I'm impatient at times myself.
I just, I mean, I'm a lot more patient than what I used to be, I guess. But I guess I went to -0 to 0. I just, I can't. I just don't have. Like even doctors. You have to wait in the doctor's office and stuff like that. Oh, I'm not really rude. I'm like, this is emergency rooms. I'm like, take these wires off me. I'm out of here. I'll go somewhere else. Y'all are taking too long.
Guess I had to learn to be patient. Where I live, it's like it's so overcrowded here. You have to wait for everything. So
I am fixing to be 57. I guess I'm not ever going to have any patience. Ever. Yeah, and that was one thing that she said this last video that she made. She's telling everybody, do not give me any attention. That's what I'm begging for. No, she doesn't want anyone to pay attention to me because I was telling the truth. That's it.
That's exactly right. You know, because where all of her lies started was with you. And if you notice, she's changed what she said, like, over time. Like, who gave you the information? Which I know it's not the truth, but you know what I mean? Just her story, her versions of the truth have changed so much over time. I think she didn't want you to give your version of the truth, you know, what the real truth is, because she knew everybody was going to see her for what a liar, you know, people that already didn't know.
And she took she took the videos down about me. And just like I put it out there that night, if she thinks that I don't have the proof to show, she's full of shit.
Oh, I know you do.
Have it. But I'm not throwing it out there for everybody. She is throwing herself out there, and I don't have to break my integrity and show private things because she already is, and she already is. I mean, she's proven I don't have to do it. So if they believe her, the thing about it is, if they believe her, let them believe her. There is something I am fixing to put out about the doxing. I'm going to prove that I did not do that.
Oh, about doxing her and her kids.
I had no access to her real Facebook page ever. She made one, sent me an email and said, here's the Facebook that I just made. You're the only one that'll have access to it. There's no pictures on it of no kids. I've never seen her kids. There's nothing on there. She named it Dorothy. That is not even her last name. So, and I knew her last name, but it was so weird, I didn't even remember it. I sent her a cease and desist letter. They had to help me go back through my information and get her last name.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
And so it wasn't me that did it.
Oh, I know.
I didn't. And who would sell kids pictures? Hannah, I meant to read this. It says, Cheryl, well, how many times did I comment to tell you your truth? She made people think bad of you. I told you, remember? What? Hannah? I'm sorry, Hannah. I guess I don't get it. Went over my head. You'll have to read that. I have made 10 videos on all new channels. I know, so they can be seen. You need to go and check out the checking convictions. She's making every day new people that are coming up in the community that are really good people. She's making those kind of videos. I can't even hardly see this. It says, I have a lot less patience for ignorance as I get older. Denise, that's it. I have, and I'll tell people that they're dumb, and I'll say that they're dumb. I will, and ignorant, because a lot of it, and stupid. I say that all the time. I mean, and I know it's disrespectful, but when somebody knows better and they are just acting a certain way and they're grown people, 30, 40s, and 50s, they're just stupid. I mean, I'm sorry, but after a while it gets old. I'll be nice at first, and see, I wanted to go. I was fixing to go and pull Dorothy's head off. I was fixing to scream and yell and go tit for tat, like when I found out about that video. And Alex Erickson said, "Just don't say anything. Just stay quiet and let's see how it plays out." Because I cried for 2 weeks, and so after that 2 weeks, I just didn't. I just stayed quiet. And
after she first told the story on her channel.
Yeah, I was happy. I was happy with the community that I knew, and I just didn't have that need to be involved in that drama. And until I went for a whole year quiet, and then when I was going to break out with my channel again, I thought it necessary for me to tell my side, because for my channel to grow, I needed to have the truth out there. I didn't want just that lie floating around. But,
right. Yeah, it's good you got to tell, the truth, your version of what actually happened. But yeah, I know you don't want to focus on her. She's not worth it.
No. But I mean, at first I was going to go and drag all those people into this, and and tell them. I mean, make them tell. Here's unjustified. This is her. This is what happened. This is their share. This is what happened. I mean, I really was going to do that. And Alex Erickson was a real big plus on that. Me not doing it. I think I probably would have ruined my own channel and turned it into drama if I had her. So, and I wouldn't be happy.
No.
I'm breaking out now. I'm gonna go at least do something probably 3 times a week. So I'm gonna be busy because I had to do my innocence thing. I call it my innocence project. When I call it checking convictions. Checking convictions that she knows the family of these people. I mean, of Stephen Avery and Brandon Dassey. She knows the family. She's involved in all that.
Really?
Yeah, and the lawyer is Zellner.
Oh yeah.
Did you know? Yeah. Did you know that she was? They wanted her for Johnny Depp case.
I heard something about that. Yeah.
She didn't have. She had her plate full, and she didn't have time to get up to speed in time. So that's why the other little girl took it. But yeah, I mean, she was still a part of it. I think she still talked to him and stuff. But yeah, she seems.
Yeah. What do you think about the whole Johnny Depp case? I'm sure you probably think the same thing most of us do.
Oh god, she is the biggest freaking liar I ever met. She's like Dorothy.
She's something else.
Yeah. She's an abuse. I mean, I think she set him up from day one to get some of his money. Easy ride, easy street. I think she did.
Yeah, I don't think she ever loved him for sure.
And she has this delusion, and it reminds me of Dorothy in a ways, because she's abusive and she has a delusion that she's the victim.
Yep.
But she knows she's not, but she manipulates things to make herself look like the victim. Lie, cheat, steal, whatever it takes.
Oh yeah, for sure. According to Dorothy, and I guess it's the same with Amber. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is a liar except for them. They're always the victim.
Please. I mean, and how many? When they told about her throwing that fake fit, and that she don't know what she did. She was her best friend, and she hurt her, and that was all fake. And I was like, well, she always faked her fits like that.
You're talking about what happened with her and Juror.
Yeah. And then she got over there and made a phone call, and she goes, How am I doing? Am I putting on a good enough show? Nobody should ever go back to watch her ever again. I mean, that was disgusting. I got sick to my stomach. I was like, oh dear God.
It's so fake.
I just couldn't believe it. And I guess I had that PTSD from it, a little gun shy. Because that's why I was so nervous tonight. You know how nervous I get. I think that's why.
Yeah, I'm sure that has a lot to do with it.
It says, okay, it says, when you tell truth, you get hate because lies sell. Checking convictions, do y'all have any problems like that? Because I never see any drama going to their chats or anything. And checking convictions, she's got a great channel. She does like you. She does like videos. I mean, like different videos and stuff. And then now she's putting out the channels. You know, she's lifting people up, and that makes a big difference. She's really talented. But she comes over and she visited when I invite her somewhere. She goes over there and like TCA, and there was like, how many was it? There's like 4 of us in there, and we were talking about the Delphi case. And this girl knows the Delphi case inside out. They had pictures that nobody had ever seen before. And it was just like 4 or 5 of us in there, and we had a blast.
Yeah.
And we didn't need anybody else in there. I mean, we were looking at and checking convictions was sending them pictures and stuff. I mean, it was really cool. And that was her first time meeting them, I think, meeting my friends. But I go around, like, I have connections, like, it's weird, because I'm a blabbermouth, right? I'm the talker of our little group. So I go to different channels and I will, on things that I'm interested in, and then I meet, wonderful people that I just love to death. And then I want them to meet my good friends over here and do this with us,
Yeah.
And like I invited, we were on TCAs and I invited, Tara to come over because TCA was, oh my God, we got hit so bad by that disgusting, the porn crap and all that. So
yeah,
Tara come over there and helped her immediately, and that's how they met. And she even sent her overlays and everything so that she could hide it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they all met, and so they've been like intermingling. And I'm like, well, if my channel is the melting pot for everybody like that, the ones, the good people, then I'll be happy with that.
Exactly, that's a good thing.
Because that's what I want is a melting pot. But I guess we kind of got off the thing. But anything like that Belle, I've never seen you before, but welcome to my channel, and I hope you come back. But I'm going to set up a schedule. I'm not really sure. I need to get with checking convictions because I want her to be able to help me out a little bit with the Stephen Avery case a little bit to get me going because I'm just a nervous wreck with it because I've got so much information. There's a lot of information. And I want to do Brandon Dassey and Stephen Avery together. But like it's kind of separated. Like she does Brandon Dassey more and the cases are separated. And I kind of try to blend them together and I need to separate them. And I've got questions and I got to ask her some questions, to clarify things, to make sure that I don't put out misinformation. But, and I'm going to do that once a week. And then I'm going to let my subscribers, I'm going to let them decide on, I'm going to do Monday Madness and I'm going to let my subscribers choose what case or what we do that day. I mean, we can do a case or whatever they want to do. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
To get them involved instead of just letting it be, you have to get up there and do what they don't have any say-so over the channel. And I want them to know that they will have a say-so when it comes to my channel because I want them involved. I'm not going to be, because I've seen subscribers beg them to stop doing something and they want to do something different to because they were all stressed out and they just refused to do it. And I'm like, that's crazy. I said, shouldn't be like that. I said, it'll never be like that with my channel. They are going, I mean, if my subscribers tell, they are going to be the ones that tell me.
I'm not. I don't get how some people, it's so obvious that some people just don't care about their subscribers at all. Well, I think it's sad. I don't see how they even have any subscribers, honestly.
And I've had a hard time keeping up. I mean, reading the chat tonight. I mean, I'm like, reading it on this phone's been really hard. But then I get carried away talking, and then I lose all of it.
Yeah, I haven't been able to see chat a lot tonight either because I had to plug my phone in, and I can't really put it on my laptop or it'll echo.
Right. Is that Ebel? Am I saying that right? Abeli? Can you see that name? E-B? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Ebel?
I thought that I would be really good at pronouncing names because I usually am, but there's been a few that I couldn't. Yeah, I like the smaller channel too. She said that when they hit a certain number, it's all about the money then. And yeah, you're right. That's exactly what, when they hit that 1,000 and that, I think that it starts going to their head and they want to do more and more and bring in more and more, and they lose sight of why they wanted a channel. It has taken me forever to get to 500. But I'm okay with that. I just want to get my community tab. I would love to be able to post, I would love to do that. But as far as, being monetized and stuff like that, I probably will never monetize myself. I'm not saying that I won't at any time. I'm just saying that I don't have any desire to do that.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it for people who do it the right way, but for me, I'm not interested in that either.
Right, because I want to say what I want to say on my channel, and I don't want to have to worry about if it's going to be monetized or not. If you're going to make money off the AdSense, if you spend a lot of time doing research and stuff like that, I do, and your people want to super, do the stickers, and because I do that too. And the memberships, I think is what's important. If you give them good content for their memberships and they care about you, that's where I think that's all that you need. And YouTube gets their part from the super chat and the stickers. And I think the stickers
they definitely take their part.
They're fun.
I'm gonna have to run here in a second, Cheryl.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I know. Okay, yeah. But that's what we're gonna do, and I hope that you come back. About checking evictions. I'll have to go. I'll drag you over here every time. I love you very much. I don't know how close I am to 500. I can't tell. But I was like, how many? I was 27 away when we started. So I hope
you have 474. It looks like.
A few more. Gosh, I just want that 20. I have been just all day long. I've been like, oh, I want my community page.
But, yeah, after you hit 500, it'll take you like a week, maybe, and then you'll be able to.
Yeah, I want to be able to post, but hitting 1,000, I have no interest in that. I'm cool at my 500. So, all right, guys. I'm going to get off too. Kimberly, thank you for doing this with me. You have been just such an angel. And I hope that you come back and do it again.
Yeah, for sure I will.
Yeah, because we got that game, and I'm going to probably really need some help on that game.
Okay. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Take care.
All right. Love you guys.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody, for coming. I appreciate every one of you. And I'm sorry we just babbled on. And I will try to get better at keeping up with the chat. But I'm going to go and watch the replay. Thank you. Till next time.